Hello, everyone. It's Dee from CatalystEnergies. Thanks for joining me. I'm so grateful that you're here. I'm so grateful that I'm here. It's been one hell of a weekend, and I'm on here today to do a recap of the weekend. So December 14th to Monday, December 16th, 2019. Now, partly because I have had some physical challenges that kept me from being able to really dive into the content and create it and publish it. So I want to get us up to speed where we are now to, in the interest of consistency when it comes to reporting the astrology, but also because even though astrology is great as a predictive tool, time is not necessarily a linear function, although we as humans may see it that way in our cultural context. As looking back on the transits that have already happened allows us to gain some clarity or some insight about what was going on for us at that time that we may not have been able to have or be able to dive into in the moment. And so when we do a retroactive reading of the astrology, it allows us to access time from a cyclical or circular context rather than a linear context. And it also allows us to maybe, it gives us the opportunity to go back around and maybe clear some things up that we could have addressed in the first place but didn't. So I just find it to be very useful to go back sometimes and to look at what has transpired in order to gain some extra clarity about what's happening. And that also empowers us to be more of a conscious co-creator as we move forward as well. So I'm going to start with the chart for Saturday, the 14th. And we have, all right, so what we have here is moon, let me get my little stylus here, a moon in Cancer. There we go, moon in Cancer, all right? And this moon in Cancer has been drawing us inward to take care and nurture our inner child, wrap ourselves in that warm blanket, and really take care of ourselves. Now, this energy was in direct opposition to a lot of this Capricorn energy that's been going on for a while now, especially Saturn, been in Capricorn since December 2017, so 2 years, and then Pluto in Capricorn since 2008, so we're looking at 10 plus years, and then Venus just moved into Capricorn this month. So this pull inward to take care of ourselves on Saturday was feeling a direct opposition to this enterprising, institutionalized building of structure, this boss-like energy that's diligent and is going to move forward and show up no matter what in order to create something, especially Saturn in Capricorn. I feel like this is the archetype of the father in direct opposition to a moon in Cancer, which is the archetype of the mother. So the father or paternal energy is kind of this, I know what's best for you and I'm going to make it happen regardless of how you feel about it. And the moon in Cancer is all about how you feel about it. It's there to nurture those feelings and to take care of those feelings so that you are feeling okay about what's happening. Pluto in Capricorn, tearing down the structure in order to make room and mulch what has been in order to fertilize what's coming. And then Venus in Capricorn, which is really the direct manifestation of our projects, our relationships, our physical material resources, what it is that we're building around those things actively into our physical lives, into our material lives. All of those things, have taken a lot of energy and has been there for a while. And this moon in Cancer really was pulling us away from that. And we could, I'm sure, really feel this tension here. I think that there could have been a certain amount of guilt around taking care of ourselves, some fear around stepping away from this energy because it is so important and it's so diligent and it's very singular in terms of the goal in mind. And so stepping away, this opposition of stepping away and going inward, as opposed to this cardinal earth energy, which is about outward and kind of direct creation of structures, I feel that could have really tested our ability to take care of ourselves and to step away sometimes. Sometimes we do have to step away from the work in order to take care of ourselves. And I think Saturday was a good indication of that and could have brought up a lot for us. Now the moon by the end of Saturday had moved into Leo, which is about play and about creativity. The ruler of Leo is the sun, actually. And so it's about bringing our best selves forward onto center stage. It's very childlike and innocent in the way that it expresses itself. And, you know, the sun card in the Rider-Waite Tarot has a child in it. It's very innocent and it's very pure. And so as we've nurtured ourselves and our inner child, we're moving into this zone that's about expressing ourselves and using play and creativity in order to express ourselves, because we do feel secure, we do feel nurtured, we did take care of ourselves, and now it's time to move into this space where we feel vulnerable and safe enough to put ourselves out there. Now, let's move on to the 15th, because that's where the moon moved into Leo on the night of the 14th, or very early evening the 15th. And so now we're moving into the 15th, Sunday, and now we do have this moon in Leo. And I think that, oh, where did my stylus go? Ah, there we go. We do find some interesting, let me do this stuff. There we go. We do find some interesting connections here. So one, the moon in Leo, fire sign, fixed fire, is in a trine, you know, at a 120-degree angle with Chiron and Aries. And we also have a trine here with Mercury as well. Ah, there we go. So Mercury is also in mutable Sagittarius, about the big picture and the optimism. What is the ultimate truth about the situation? So we have this moon here, this essence of us wanting to create and to be ourselves and to use play to express ourselves, is very much balanced with our minds being in this optimistic, truth-seeking zone. And also Chiron in Aries, that is about the original wound around who we are. So there could be some, there could be a motivation or an inspiration to really align with this and to understand, you know, where this comes from, where this wounding comes from, and how it is part of the bigger picture for us, and using that as a way to, maybe not using it as a way, but it's part of our expression. Now, this could also lead itself to being dramatic as well. Leo tends to be a dramatic sign, you know, because it is about being on the center stage. Leo tends to be a lot of diva energy and the, you know, the center of attention. And so, especially with a Chiron in Aries, that is about the wounded ego, and then Mercury not being very grounded, and being rather debilitated in an energy that is an expansive, optimistic, you know, not very many boundaries, you know, it's not very realistic either. It's very much always about the big picture up there. And so there could be some drama and there could be some unrealistic expression around, you know, who we are, what we feel like we deserve, you know, where our wounds are, and also considering it from like, you know, Sagittarius can be very self-righteous and very dogmatic. And so this energy, if not utilized in a aligned way, could be very dramatic. It can be very much like I'm right. and I deserve, you know, what I want, and I am going to throw a tantrum until I get it. So this Sunday could have found us, you know, having this energy, especially if, you know, depending on what was going on for you. Now, the moon is going to have some tense aspects, and I think this is where the real balance comes in, because we have this trine between Jupiter and Uranus that is exact on Sunday. That was exact on Sunday. So we have Uranus in Taurus, Jupiter in Capricorn right here, and so the moon is squaring Uranus, 90-degree angle. These are trajectories that are not aligning very well, and then you have the moon quincunxing or in conjunct. This is like square peg in a round hole type of energy. Now this I really want to bring attention to, because Jupiter in Capricorn, the early stages of Capricorn, I had said before, is like the template. It's like the outline of the thesis that is that we conceptualized in Sagittarius and now is coming into form. We actually have to write the paper, write the dissertation. And Jupiter is the outline. So we're actually starting to put the ideas into a format, into a template, but it's still at the beginning stages. Now this trine to Uranus and Taurus, Taurus is about the physical nature, just like Venus. Venus is the ruler of Taurus. Taurus is the earth. It's the body. It is physical manifestation. And Uranus is, you know, the collective third eye. It's about rebellion and innovation. It's also about quick, massive change at one time. It's a lightning bolt. And this occurred to me today, that this trine here, especially after this weekend, this trine here really seems to represent something along the lines of an upgrade, a major physical upgrade, a DNA activation. Something major has shifted. Now, it depends on where in your chart this Uranus and Taurus is happening, but collectively, especially with this trine to Jupiter in Capricorn, what we're starting to build, the outline of what we're starting to create in Capricorn, this weekend really saw a big shift in our physical nature somehow. For me personally, I definitely felt it, and I'm still feeling the effects of it. And Jupiter and Uranus are slow-moving planets, so even though this trine was exact on Sunday, we felt it leading up to it. It happened, and we're still feeling the effects of this trine. And so the moon in Cancer, leading up to this point, was really priming us to take care of ourselves because of this aspect that was going to be exact, because this is big. This is a big shift. You know, this is an activation on a physical level, a cellular level, that needs a lot of time and nurturing in order to integrate into our bodies. And it is going to take some time. And that's where this moon in Leo, trining Chiron in Aries, and also trining Mercury in Sagittarius, I think could really, I don't want to say get in the way, but it could be a distraction, because this is really, now it could also, this could be utilized really, really well in a creative way. You know, you could come to terms about some serious mother wounding, your original wounding. You can see the big picture of it with your mind in that place, and you could utilize it in a way that allows you to be creative and to see it as an innocent child, and to integrate it in a way that allows for pure expression. That is definitely a possibility. It really has to do with the way that you're able to harness that energy. All right, so we're going to undo all these things, hopefully. We're going to move on to the chart for Monday. All right. Let's see here. Monday the 16th. There we go. Monday the 16th. So we still have this moon in Leo. Let's see here. Moon in Leo, still here. All right. Yep, in the last 10 degrees of Leo here. Moon in Leo. All right, and so we have been still feeling this desire, and it's getting stronger now, this need to express ourselves, this need to give ourselves the center stage to create something and to express something and to be seen. I mean, I think that's really also what Leo really wants, is to be seen. And so internally, we're really being drawn not only for others to see us, but really to see ourselves for who we are. And that is becoming stronger as Monday continues. Let's see here. There's a lot of aspects here. This quincunx, this inconjunct energy with Pluto, with Saturn, with Venus in Capricorn is, let's see here. Here we go. Now this energy is like, it's not really lining up very well with this energy. Again, it's the square peg in the round hole. Like, there is such a desire for this in this moon to, you know, to be seen, to be on the center stage, to be recognized for who we are. And it's not lining up at all with this Capricorn energy, because again, none of this Capricorn energy doesn't really care about being seen. It doesn't really care about expressing oneself. It is about getting it done. And this could be an opportunity to make an adjustment between these aspects here and this moon in Leo, which is going to go void off course on Monday at 2 p.m. So there is a lot of challenging aspects with this moon today on the 16th. That's when I'm recording it. Now the moon is going to go void off course, which means it makes no major aspects until it changes signs. And the last aspect that it's going to make is a trine right here to the sun in Sagittarius. Now, sun in Sagittarius is a little bit stronger, I think, than Mercury in Sagittarius, because it is a fire. Sagittarius is a fire sign. The sun rules a fire sign. It rules Leo, right? The sun rules Leo. And so this energy is getting a boost from this, making a trine from the sun in Sagittarius. And so we can find some real optimism and seek the truth and have that light of the sun shine on us as we are really grappling for to be seen and to be understood and to express ourselves. And the sun can really, really support that as in terms of what is the big picture. And the sun too, I just want to point out, we'll talk more about this in the coming days, is getting very close to the galactic center where Jupiter and Venus had conjuncted not that long ago. And you know, that was the synthesis of our dissertation, right? Of the idea finally coming together and being like, oh, this is what I'm doing. This is the thesis. And so the sun is going to get there within just the next couple days before the solstice. And so right here, this moon trining with the sun, I just feel like this is a really nice, hopeful, optimistic aspect of shining the light on the moon, on ourselves, giving us the light of the sun and the optimism from Sagittarius onto that inner child that just really wants to be seen, wants to be heard, wants to take our place on the center stage and express ourselves. Now, the moon, by the end of today, Pacific Standard Time, and then in the middle of the night, Eastern Standard Time, the moon is going to move into Virgo, and that is going to shift the energy so much, I think. We're going to go from this inner child being nurtured with the Cancer and then coming into the need to fully express itself into a very mature energy. It's going to come in and be very detail-oriented. It's going to be very analytical. It's going to be very mature and grown up. And it's like, okay, it's time to start putting things in their appropriate places. And so that's going to be for the catalyst for tomorrow, December 17th. We'll talk more about that. But I just wanted to give a recap of the weekend, because I think, like I said, that Jupiter trining Uranus here that's still, I mean, it's still very strong here, even though it's not exact anymore. That was a major, major shift and upgrade on a cellular DNA level, as far as I can tell. And I think it really was disruptive in terms of this energy here, what we're building, this trajectory that we've been on. You know, we've just been going at it, going at it, going at it, which has been necessary. But at the same time, like this right here has been also very necessary and was quick. It was a quick transition. It happened very suddenly. And now we're in a position where we have to integrate that. And I think we really do want to be seen for that. I think we really want to be able to see ourselves um, because of that, and to give ourselves the stage. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, as long as we're harnessing that correctly and not becoming a drama, you know, becoming infused with drama as a result of it. And then the moon coming into Virgo is going to really, really put some things into perspective, I think, and is going to give us an opportunity to really start putting the pieces together from this activation. So I'm going to end it there. We're gonna, I'm gonna, we're gonna, I'm gonna, I am going to touch base with you about the next couple days through my daily Catalyst series, and I'm also going to put together part 2 of the December monthly report, and that's going to go up until the new moon, which is the annular solar eclipse, which is happening on December 25th on Pacific Standard Time in the evening, and then it's also happening December 26th in the early morning hours, East Coast Standard Time, and then further east into the UK. So I'm going to end the month report there and then start talking about January in 2020 in new reports. So thank you for joining me and bearing with me. I've had some serious vertigo. It's been part of my DNA and cellular activation. And so even being able to balance enough to sit here and talk without the world spinning has been, I think it's a victory. So I'm a little bit out of practice. Even just a couple of days off the microphone is enough to get me a little bit out of the loop. So I really appreciate you bearing with me as I start channeling the information again in a coherent manner. If you're interested in a reading or reaching out at all my information is in the description box below. You can always subscribe to this channel. You can like this video. You can go to my Facebook page and also follow me there. And I have updates on a regular basis just about what's going on astrologically, intuitive insights that come about, and there's a real good community that's growing there. And you can also learn more about my services and book them with me. So take care of everybody. I really appreciate you being here, and I will talk to you